Hey y'all, my name is John Mitchell. I'm a certified financial coach. The purpose of this video and this channel is to teach you how to master the personal finance basics. In today's video, we're going to be discussing how much dividend income my $55,000 portfolio made in the month of February. I am currently an active duty soldier in the United States Army, and one challenge I face when trying to build financial wealth is being able to create income on the side. And that's where I started doing research into dividend portfolios, and I realized no matter if I'm in the field or training late at night, I can still make income on the side without having to get a second job. With all that being said, let's jump into my portfolio. So jumping into our portfolio, I'm going to show you a quick overview of it, and then we'll break it down from there. So if you look at the very bottom here, we have our overview sheet. Here on the top, we have my taxable brokerage, we have my Roth IRA, and then we have my kids account, Uniform Gift to Minors Act at the bottom. After that, we have our dividend growth. So this is new, and we'll break that down more later. Next, we have our income sheet. This shows our monthly paychecks that we get. And then we have our data sheet, and this is my rough projection on how long I think it'll take for us to be financially free on dividends. Jumping back to our overview sheet here, made a couple new changes, so pretty excited to tell you about them. But first, for all you new folks out there, I have some basic stock information that y'all can see. I have, the price, the current value, the percentage of my account that each stock takes up, number of shares, my cost basis, so what I originally bought each stock for, the dividend per share currently, my yield cost basis, so it's the yield based off of what I paid for each share. This is the yield if you bought everything in my portfolio with the same values today. You have the income year to date for January of 26, so the income we receive in January 27 by then, and then we have income year to date for February, or what we see in February 2027, and then we have our actual income year to date. Lastly, the actual update I made to this sheet, and I'm so happy I did it, was my total yield, my cost basis yield, and my regular yield too. These are both now weighted. So what does that mean? Essentially, before I would just have all these yields here multiplied together, or added up together and divided by like 10, for example. Well, that gives me a yield for everything I have, but it doesn't take into account what my actual holdings are. Because, for example, let's look at CM. Well, CM makes up 20% of my holdings, and that yield weight would actually weight a little higher than a company like MSTR, which doesn't yield anything, but for illustration purposes, it's only like 1%, 2% of my portfolio. And if it had a yield, that yield would impact my portfolio even less. So this is the most accurate yield. This is actually what I'm yielding year over year. Another thing before I forget, my taxable stuff, and I know it says it there, it's post-tax as well, just that last note. So now we've discussed some new updates and some sheetology, if you will. The big updates we have here, we have some dividend increases. So if you checked out my last video, you could see the dividend increases I had at the end of 2025 and leading into 2026. Now, many of those companies that hadn't changed them already have updated them. So we'll review those a little bit here. FR updated, PLD and QSR updated as well. One note to make, the FCFXX. So this is my mutual fund account. It's my cash account through Fidelity. They have a couple of different options, but essentially they all have the same interest rate. And one thing I didn't account for last year was, as interest rates are falling, the interest rate for this savings, we'll call it a savings account, for this savings account essentially has gone down. And that's one thing I didn't take note of at the end of last year. So I edited that for my numbers last year to make it a little more accurate by the end of the year. But now that is what I currently am yielding in this cash account. For totals for the taxable brokerage, we are just shy of $28,000 with a cost basis yield of 5.983%, and then a current yield of 4.84%. We expect a year to date, so February this time next year, we should be making $11.38 and 38 cents, and then year to date we made $182.88. Jumping down to the Roth IRA, again, same columns as above. Our dividend increases here were FBIZ, NE, Ozark, and then Tractor Supply all raised. And again, the SPACs, it's similar to the FCFXX or whatever that I had above. Its interest rate has also decreased, and I caught that this time around. Our total yield for our Roth IRA is just above $27,000 with a cost basis yield of 3.465%. And then if you buy everything today, yield of 3.090%. year-to-date yield for February is 782.77, and then total dividends year-to-date is 115.96. Rounding out the portfolio, we are just over $55,000 with a weighted cost basis yield of 4.737%, which is above our target goal of 4% is our minimum. Our yield, if you bought everything today, is 3.794%. Income year to date, so February next year, should be 1921.15, and then total dividends year to date just shy of $300. Last but not least, jumping down to my kids' portfolio, you can see I have 2025 below too. But the kids' portfolio, I got them on my winners as best I could. He had no dividend upgrades. Again, I marked the SPACs down below with the decrease in interest rate, so you all could see that. His his total value year to date is 1817. His birthday's coming up pretty soon, so that's going to change a little bit. It's not going to grow quite as fast. I was trying to make up for lost time since we were waiting to get his birth certificate back to set up his accounts, but we got it later on in the year of last year, and we were able to set that up. Our cost basis yield is 3.121% for him, and then our yield, if we bought everything, it was 2.964%. Dividends year to date, $5.85. If you have not already, like and subscribe to this video as it helps me see what content you all like and want to see in the future. Jumping over to our new sheet here. So this is our dividend growth sheet. I wanted to track how much my stocks that I currently hold are growing year over year. If you haven't remembered, we base our yield and growth percentages off of book Get Rich with Dividends by Mark Lichtenfeld. As I said previously, we're looking for a minimum portfolio yield of 4% at the baseline. And then we're looking at 10% year-over-year growth. And what I wanted to capture in this dividend growth sheet is to see where my stocks are yielding. It's just a one-year growth. I aspire to go further back. And really what I want to do is take all dividend payers and go back as far as maybe not as far as I can, but like 10 minimum, maybe 20 years back, have all these yields so I can actually not just look at what I have, but project into what I should be buying in the future. More on that in the future video, but that's just something I'm looking into doing and setting up for y'all to use as a resource later. Quickly breaking through this, I have a couple zeros. I have 10, which is CM. Again, that's my cost basis yield, so I did really well with that one. CubeSmart kind of needs to go. Probably something I should look to sell in the near future. FR and MPLX are killing it. They're doing great. Realty Income Corp, I know their yield's low, and I've talked about this before. They do compound 3 times as fast as the others, so I like it. I like the monthly dividends, so that's why I'm going to continue to hold on to them. PLD and QSR are 2 other foreign companies. Their growth isn't terrible. Their yield's not bad, but if I can look to upgrade, it'd be great. I have SCHD and Vichy. Vichy, they should upgrade, or they should bump up their dividend in March, because they pay at the end of each quarter every year. At least that's what it looks like. So we should see a dividend increase next month for them. Going down below, ADP has been a great buy, although they are HR. I think they're working on like digital HR solutions. So with all this AI coming, they'll definitely be something to keep your eyes on in the future. Chevron is okay. EOG is okay. FBiz really crushed it. Really big update in the dividend. Kroger, big favorite of mine. Easy grocery store to get in with. It's a low share price, and their percentage growth just below 10. But I mean, I think 9, anything above 9, I think is still okay in my book. Lowe's kind of meh. Think about trading them this year maybe. Knee's doing great. Nexstar, they didn't increase, so actually they do need to go. Bank of the Ozarks, another favorite of mine, a great American bank that does well. Robert Half, we talked a little bit about them before. They've got a lot of trouble on their horizon, so it's one I'll see if I can make my money back throughout this year, but I might sell them before I make that money back, especially since they didn't raise the dividend. Tractor Supply also kind of in that mid-range, something we'd look to grow in the future. And again, the kid has what I have, so nothing you can really change there. Moving over to our income sheet, let's look at our monthly paychecks that we got. MPLX, I mean, they pay big if they're an MLP, so yeah, pretty cool there. Realty Income Corp, as of March, we should break double digits and get over $10 a share, which is pretty cool. And then the interest has gone down in the FZFXX account, so that's why that's dropped a little bit there too. Our total dividends in the taxable account for the month of February were $57.62, with a total dividends year to date of $182.88. Jumping down to the Roth IRA, we got Lowe's and Knee both paying out And then we have the SPACs account. So our total dividends for the Roth IRA were $32.64, with an annual total over here on the far right of $115.96. The month of February, not as cool. It didn't break triple digits, but that's okay. We'll continue to grow it and work on it. Our totals here were $90.26. Our dividends year to date, as you already saw on the previous page, or 2 pages previous, were $298.84. For the kid, nothing super crazy here. He got $1.62 this month, which is cool. And his dividends year to date are $5.85. Last but not least, jumping over to our data sheet. This is where I've done the calculations to get a rough estimate of how many years it'll take for me to retire on dividends. That target number we're looking for is to break the $10,000 mark. That should probably increase over time. That's a calculation I'll do on this channel maybe later this year, so we can start looking at that. But for now, this is what I have. Year one is already set. That was our account value in December of last year. With our yield, again, adjusted for cost basis, our monthly dividend average was $97.13. And then we had a current growth of $7 or 7.12%. And that's the growth from this yield to this yield here. So hopefully this yield will grow a lot more by the end of this year. And we might see, I hope to see that about 10% growth by the end of that year. Hey, bud. As we go down below, another exciting factor here. Oh, so what I did was I had all 10% here because that's our target, was 10% growth. But just to keep it realistic or more, manage my expectations a little bit better, I dropped it to the 7.1% because that's what we were projecting here for our dividend growth as of the end of this month. So I'm going to continue to use that number through, and I'll change that throughout the years as we continue. A cool thing to note that in 2038 we'll break into over $1,000 a month, which is pretty exciting. And again, we will break that $10,000 mark. Where you at? There you are. $10,000 a mark month in 2049. And I know this is way out there. This is really long term, but that's the play here. The play is not to use this money to cash out and go buy a boat or buy a sports car. This money is for my wife and I to accrue an additional income source in retirement. I hope you all got something out of today's video. I'm super happy that I got my cost basis yield figured out. So now you can see most accurately what I am actually making on yield every single month. If you're looking for a financial coach to help you look at a dividend portfolio in the future, sign up for a free appointment today with the link in the description or in the comment section down below. I love each and every one of you, and I'll see y'all in the next video.